Hi everybody, sorry I'm a little bit late today with our bug making, but I had a really busy day, so I put up a bit of Q&A this morning and also sent you all a reminder about feeding your bug. So I'm assuming if you haven't already fed them, then I'm going to be reminding you again. So just so you know, we're going to be doing the same thing every day for 6 days, and on the 7th day we're going to make our bread, and then we're going to ensure that there's enough bug that's actually left there to make the next loaf of bread that you want to make, and then we can feed it the next day. So we're feeding and feeding and feeding every day for 6 days. On the 7th day we're going to make our loaf of bread, and then we're just going to replenish our bug again. And then you can keep it forever. Like I said, this is a gift that I'm giving to you that you can keep forever and ever and ever. So today, what we're going to do, this is bug day 3. We're going to feed our bug. We're going to put our bug in a new container. Then we're going to feed our bug. And then I've just got some questions that I've been asked all day by people. And I thought, well, best I tell you now. So here's our bug. Now, I'll show you what he looks like. Okay, some people call him a she, some people call him a he. Now you can smell it, it is fermenting. So this is fermenting. It's got that sour, like that sour smell. Some people like it, some people don't like it, but it will have that smell and it's okay. So don't worry about it, darlings, it hasn't gone off at all. And you haven't killed it, because the only thing that's going to kill your bug is salt. So don't worry about it. So here we go. Can you have a look at him? See, it's bubbling. See, look at the side. That's all there. That's all fermentation. So if you feed this again in here, it's going to topple over. So what we're going to do is we're going to transfer it. So I'm going to put it into this container now. And I said this morning, if you've got a big bug, best you go and put it in a bigger container. See, look at that. Isn't that just gorgeous? That is beautiful. I had a question yesterday from a gentleman that was much disappointed with the taste of his bread from what he could remember, and I said to him, it's 7 days is the absolute minimum for growing your bug. You want the flavours, and the flavour will improve over time if that's the flavour of the bread that you want. It takes you back to your childhood. The other differences is, and also I was talking to one of my cousins on the weekend, and she was telling me when her nan from up the coast, when she would make her bread, is that she kneaded it quite a lot, and so it was a very heavy and very dense bread. Now the recipe that I'm teaching you is light and fluffy. Okay, so the more you knead it, the denser that loaf will become. And I don't knead it a lot because I want to have soft, light and fluffy bread with a very golden crust. Okay, so I think we know what goes into our bug. Can somebody help me? Actually, I've got something to say too today. Every day we feed our bug the same thing every single day. So every day you're going to be feeding the same thing. And that is 1 cup of flour. 1 cup of potato water, slightly warm if you're keeping it in the fridge. Okay, so what I did is I just put some potatoes, doesn't matter how many you put in. I put in 2 potatoes and I chopped them all up, didn't peel them, skin and all, put it in a whole lot of water, boiled it until it got really mushy, put it in my blitz kind of NutriBullet to blitz it all up. And with water, so put plenty of water with it, because then you want it to last. You can last the whole 7 days, 7 days. And there we go, that's the bit that I've got left over. So I just put it back in the fridge and I bring it out again, and I can put a little bit more water in there if I want, if I don't want to end up having to cook more potatoes. And if you don't have any potato water, that's okay, just use water, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. So we've got a cup of flour. This is the cup of potato water, and 2 dessert spoons of sugar. Now, I just clicked yesterday that 2 dessert spoons is actually a tablespoon. And I remember when I was a kid, you know, 2 teaspoons is a dessert spoon, 2 dessert spoons is a tablespoon. And also, as I said, if you don't want to use sugar, don't put sugar in. It may take longer for the fermentation process to happen, but that's okay. And then we're going to mix this up. Here we go. And you know, the fermentation, it gets quicker and quicker and quicker, and you're going to grow a larger and larger bug. So 7 days, and we'll have a loaf of bread. So I'm just going to, so what I'll do is I'll just put that aside. Some people put it in a hot water cupboard, some people put it on their windowsill. I don't put it in a hot water cupboard because I don't have one. It's not that cold, so it normally just sits in my cupboard. So it just sits there, and that's fine. And I'll put a little lid on it and just let it bubble and bubble away. So this is a loaf of bread. Now, this morning I actually had a loaf, so this is quite light and fluffy, and unfortunately I had to leave it in the oven, in the Dutch oven, when I left, because like I said, I had a really busy day today. So it did sweat on the bottom, which I don't like, so I'm just going to put it back in the oven just a little bit, just to dry that part out. But that loaf of bread I am going to cut into quarters, and I'm giving a quarter to the lady in the post office that posts my bread when people order bread. I'm going to give a quarter to I'm going to cut it up and take it to the night market tomorrow maybe, and then people can sample that. And I'm going to give a quarter to the City Mission. And at the City Mission I've also got a little bag of canned goods. When I was cleaning out my cupboards, I thought, okay, just put a little hamper together, and I'm going to send that to them. And the final quarter is going to be for me or my dad. So my dad is quite keen on, he loves my bread, so he's quite keen on that. So we'll just see how that goes. Now, for the last 3 minutes that we have, well, not that I'm counting, let's go through some of the questions that I've been asked. Now, like I said, your bug will be fermenting now, so it will be smelling, okay? It won't smell off, but you may think it does, because it just has that sour, you know, that sour, yeah, it's got that sour loaf, which is sourdough. So you've got that. The recipe, the recipe for the bug is the same every day. 1 cup of flour, 1 cup of potato water, 1 tablespoon of sugar. That's it. And I will be posting up the actual recipe, the recipe, but not yet, because I get people that start here and they go right to the end game, and they ask me all these questions. I'm thinking, no, you've got to enjoy the journey. Don't try to rush to the destination. Just trust me on this one, guys. Trust me on this one. Somebody else sent me a question and sent me a photo, so the top of their Rewena had cracked. So that does happen with sourdough. So what you can do with some of them, you get a very sharp knife and you can slash across your bread. The other one is, I think it may have, and look, if I'm wrong, please get in contact with me, is that you haven't left it to proof for long enough. Also, your oven might be a tiny bit too hot. But anyway, if anybody else has got any feedback on that, I'd really appreciate it. The other question I had is about what size pot do I use. Now, the one that I use is about 23 centimeters. I'm just going to get this here. So, okay, this is a medium-sized Dutch oven. So it's 23 centimeters across. Somebody asked if 29 is okay. 29's fine. And it's 10 centimeters deep. Okay, your Rewena will grow to the size of whatever you've actually put it in. So don't put it in anything too small or it'll come out the side looking like muffin tops. Somebody said, what do? We run out of potato and run out of potato. Just use water. It's fine. So you're 3 days in on your bug now, so you could just use water if that's all you've got. That's okay. That's fine. And somebody also asked me about the brand of potatoes that I use. Any potatoes. So I don't know what the brand of potatoes I have that I've used in this one, but my great cousin came and dropped these off for me last week, and I said, oh, I've already got potatoes, and she goes, no, she goes, you'll need it for your bread making, so thank you so much. And I think that's actually about it. Oh, and one other thing, last night my niece came over and we filmed making steamed pudding, so we're going to put that up there, and it's the first time we did it reasonably professionally. Well, she's the producer, so she's doing that, and it was great. It was a very, very long day, but I think it came out really well, so we're going to be posting that up shortly, and so that's okay. The other question some people ask me is kind of why, you know, because why am I doing this, because, you know, and also the gifting of a bug. You know, I love cooking and I love people, and it shows, and I'm very good at communicating and explaining things to people, so this is just a real natural progression for me. It's great. I absolutely love it. I love answering your Q&A, your questions that you have. I love being in front of a camera and filming myself and things like that, because I absolutely adore attention, and I always have, and any member of my family will tell you that. I love talking. So and I just absolutely adore cooking and people, so I love it. It's really great. I'm going to experiment more. We did some beautiful pasta yesterday, but it's really good. And you know what, the more people I can teach to make Rewena bread, you know, that's awesome. I love it. And, you know, I sell a few loaves, and that's really good, because, you know, it's good to have a bit of money in your pocket. But the main objective for me is to share my learning, and so that's really important to me. Anyway, have a good evening, people. This is it now. I'm going to post this up. I'm going to make myself a cup of tea. I'm going to get on my lovely, comfortable sofa underneath a little duvet, and I'm going to watch a movie. Ka kite.